Mental health is a huge issue in today's society. According to mentalhealth.org, depression is now the second most common cause of disability nationwide. Bringing in awareness to this issue is a key challenge that many organisations face. With mental health being the problem, sport can be the solution. Studies have shown that sports can really help improve their mental state. From going from places like here, a basketball court, or even a futsal pitch can really improve someone's mental state and put them on a better track and for a better life. I spoke to Solent Kestrel's player, Travis Giles, on how sport can improve someone's mindset.
Well, I feel like mental health is it's important, and it helps. It's a safe haven that's created, especially for a lot of youth, especially in inner cities where I'm from. I've witnessed it. I've been a part of it. Boys and girls clubs, after school programs, YMCA programs that, they're playing basketball, soccer, what you guys call football, American football, badminton, tennis. It keeps the kid in a safe haven, whether they're going through getting bullied or, times aren't so great at home, but you find something, a craft that's fun and free for the most part, that your city or that your county or that your area is taking care of for the benefit of the future. And a lot of times it puts you in a place mentally where you can escape whatever you're going through, and you're almost like elated,
Yeah.
So especially when you're good at it and you continue to work at it. It's almost like you have something that's like your best friend.
Travis believes sport has left a positive impact on his life.
Sports has helped me a lot because I've had a hot temper growing up. My two favorite sports are basketball and boxing. I used to love American football when I was younger, but for the most part, to keep my mind straight and focused, especially with my temper, my current trainer even guides me and lets me know that your anger can only block you. Jimmy Guymee says it all the time. Your anger will block you from going further. So usually when you're calm, you're relaxed, you can go much further, not just in sports or in your craft, but in life.
Sport has helped in many areas, but specifically Travis's temper.
Sports help keep me focused, I'll say that much. It helped keep me focused, the discipline, whether I had to wake up 6 a.m. or 1 p.m. for practice or go to study hall, lunch, stuff like that, help organize my day. So it gave me a lot of discipline, I can tell you that much.
Mental health struggles can affect anyone. Many athletes and celebrities have opened up on their own journeys, how they have dealt with things like anxiety and depression. In a recent interview with BBC, Tottenham defender Danny Rose shared his story.
It was just small things really, 'cause I was injured at the time and it was my first serious injury, and my team was doing really, really well, and I was just sat watching.
You weren't part of it?
I weren't part of it, and England were doing well, and I was going into training really angry. I didn't socialise for a really long time, like away from football. I wasn't going out. I just didn't want to do anything, and I weren't sleeping as well.
Media coverage has rapidly increased on this subject this year, from reports online as well as new campaigns being set up. ITV has announced the new campaign to get Britain talking, which features many familiar faces. As well as these campaigns, what else is the nation doing to improve their own mental well-being? I went to Hamble to check out what they were doing. Steve from Solent Sports gave us some insight into these local pickup games.
This is the Solent Ladies Sports Club. It's basically a club for women to come down and get involved in sports. At the moment we're focused on football, but throughout the year we're going to try different sports out, so it'll be tag rugby and things like that, just different games really to get women out and playing sports. This started off from, I moved to Hamble, I didn't know anybody, so I started up a men's football match where they could just come down and get a game. That's grown now where we have 100 men across 5 different nights from Southampton to Portsmouth, which has become a real big thing. And I'm hoping that the ladies' side of it does the same and just follows that. And it's just about getting people off the sofas and back out and playing football when they can just turn up and get involved.
How did these ladies find out about this and what do they think?
So I met Steve in the summer. I run a pet sitting business and I pet sat for him while he went on holiday. And he told me about his men's team, and I said that's a really good idea. You really need to do that for women as well, because people like me, I'm lonely, don't have many friends, so I thought it was a really good idea to just get out, like burn some energy, lose some calories and meet some new friends.
With these sessions looking like a success, what makes this so great for people and why does sport have such a good impact mentally?
Playing sport increases your mental well-being. Getting out and having a run around, it gives you an hour of not having to think about life but just concentrate on what you're doing. Kicking a football, you get rid of that anger, that aggression where you're kicking a ball around and chasing, and also meeting people, so it tackles social isolation. You meet new people. The majority of the women who've been down tonight didn't know each other before they've come down. Friendships will grow over the next sort of 6 months and as it goes on, and it's the same with the men's thing. The men's side of the game, as a lot of the blokes have become really good friends now, so that's really good.
It's the whole social aspect of it, but then also when you exercise you burn endorphins or you create endorphins, and that's like the feel-good hormone. So yeah, after exercise you always feel good, but don't eat beforehand.
After visiting the ladies' pickup game in handball, it demonstrated why sport can help so many, especially in the local community. I wanted to speak to an expert about the human psyche, why mental health is so important, and what sport really does to help the mind.
In the work that I do is that I'm a child and adolescent psychotherapist, and I do an awful lot of work with teenagers. What I do see is that the teenagers that have a sport do better than the teenagers that don't have a sport. So again, it's that, in the sport that they are in, whether it's soccer or whether it's football, there's that sense of belonging, there's that team approach.
I recently visited a local football team, Sands United, with a fellow journalist, Harrison Reed. Sands United was set up to help fathers cope with the loss of their children. But why did they choose football?
Girls are far more likely to cry easier. And I know I'm kind of talking about tears, but I think this is really, really important. They actually kind of they can cry a little bit. It's easier for them to cry. There isn't that stigma around crying. It is easier for them to, talk about their feelings amongst groups. But for boys and for males, kind of seen as, oh, well, if you're talking about your feelings, well, look at you now, you're a sissy, or, you're gay, or you're this, you're that, so it was never encouraged for men to talk about their feelings. And that's why I think the suicide rate amongst men is higher, because they don't have an outlet.
Team spirit and a good group to rely on is fundamental, according to Adele.
It's not even for men to kind of think, okay, they're going to go play their football match or their soccer match this evening and I'm going to talk about my problems. It's often I just need to be part of a group. I need to be part of my sports team. I need people to look out for me. Yeah, when I'm around people, I get a sense of belonging. I feel good about myself. I'm needed. I belong in this world. I'm important. So the whole idea of being involved with sports, number one, it's good for you physically, but number two, it's good for your mental health, because again, you've got dopamine released. There's all these different chemicals that happen, even just on a kind of I suppose on a neuroscience type of way, even with our brains, it's beneficial for our feelings. But it's the piece of which I talked about earlier on, is that in worldwide we have a problem with relational poverty. So when you're part of a sports team, or when you are meeting your friends and chatting, you are more likely to do better with regard to your mental health.
Mental health awareness has grown significantly over these past few years. Other research has been done to show the link between sport and mental wellness. In a BBC report, swimming has been highlighted as an ideal sport for dealing with anxiety and depression.
Or even this. Our physical and mental health have long been linked, but what is it that makes swimming special?
There's something about the water properties that help, and that fact that you actually have the peace and quiet. The water is a great medium if you may have other health problems. So that also means that some people who may struggle to exercise on dry land will be able to get these mental health benefits.
1 in 4 people in the UK will experience a mental health problem each year. A Swim England poll revealed 1.4 million adults found swimming has significantly reduced their symptoms of anxiety and/or depression.